actresses, the filmmakers to meet in Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, me and Venus, together we embark.
Laurie, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you. I'm doing good. Happy February 1st.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining the live. It's an entertainment. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a glitch here.
Yes. I asked you about your interest into arts and entertainment. How did it start with you?
I'd like to say I was born for it, but maybe. From the earliest memory I have, arts and entertainment has been uh, something I loved ever since I was a young girl. Um, dancing, music, drawing, any kind of ability to use my imagination. When I was very small, I wanted to be an actress. Movies were a big part of our lives. I grew up as a young girl in the 80s, so Blockbuster was something which we would rent movies at. It was a family thing every weekend. So movies have been a huge part of my life ever since I can remember. But there was a bigger calling for me, and I knew it. So when I was young, I would beg my parents, I want to be an actress, I want to be a Disney kid. And they really didn't have the same um, thoughts I did about it. So basically, the gist was, you go through your life, and when you become an adult, you can, explore what you love. And that's exactly what I did.
Tell me about studying in Arizona University right now, and what did you study? And also, after studying, uh, how did you decide on your next move after studying as an artist?
Great. Yes. Actually, I was working in the film industry while I was going to college. I felt it was really important for me not to only have an educational background in what I was doing as a career, but at that time, even then, women weren't exactly seen as equals, and it's really not that long ago in the business I work in. So I felt like, having that behind me and having that education in every part of filmmaking would be important for my career going forward. I studied communication at Arizona State University, and I also received my degree in film and media production. So I had started a film production company called Victor Angel Films while I was in college, and was working on feature films while I was finishing my finals my last year before graduation. So it was pretty exciting.
Yes. Yes, tell me, according to you, since your study years and until now, how do you see the film industry in Arizona State?
There was quite a time. It was very shaky. In fact, that's actually why we ended up moving to Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
because we were doing all of our business while we were in Arizona, in Los Angeles, because that's really where it was starting. And then we were filming across the United States.
Uh-huh.
I served on a board that was trying to get the film tax incentive back and get the film office back in Arizona. And that actually has happened. So there is some incentives there. But before it was really difficult to run a company at that time because all the business was in California and New York and all over the place. And these tax incentive states have really uh, garnered the attention of these production companies to film in their beautiful, beautiful locations. So Arizona is amazing and the most beautiful place you can see with every environment and every season you can imagine. Um, I love it there. I still have family there, and it's definitely a part of somewhere I would love to go back to and make more movies. So I'm very happy where they are going right now. So I see it growing a lot.
Yes. I see that you started to direct short films and you won several awards. So,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Let me know about what drove you to venture into filmmaking right now. And according to you, what are the subjects that you like to tackle as a writer or director as well?
Okay, so the first part of the question, can you repeat that again? Sorry.
I wanted to know when did you decide to venture into filmmaking and directing your short films like Wake, as well as
Mhm.
going to festivals and becoming a filmmaker, not only a performer. And also wanted to know what are the subjects that interest you as a filmmaker that you want to tackle as well in the future.
Okay. Well, my foray into filmmaking started when I was a theater student. I was acting in theater and working towards going into film. I really didn't know how to break into it at that time. And
Yes.
a friend of mine told me that there was a film competition in town and that I should audition. And so I did. And that really was the moment that snowballed everything for me. Um, so
Mhm.
we competed in a 72-hour film competition amongst other filmmakers in town. And I got my biggest onset training there. And I've never stopped ever since that moment. So that was really, really awesome. I think the other thing that really inspired me to do filmmaking, I was on a commercial once. It was a pizza commercial, but when I got to walk onto set, I was blown away. I mean, jaw to the floor, how everything worked, what the producers were doing, the cameras, the equipment, how everything was like a symphony. And I said, oh yeah, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to know how to do that, and I'm going to do it. So really, that was just some inspiring moment for me that I've kept for a long time.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes. Regarding right now, when you try to go promoting your films and talking about them as a filmmaker, tell me, did you, I mean, feel enthusiastic? This give you like a push to create more films as a writer director as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, directing isn't my first passion. Acting and writing and producing really is my passion. I feel like maybe more directing for me is a little further down the path.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, there's a lot of subject matter that I would love to touch upon and real stories and history and uh, touching and inspiring stories. However, I have another side of me that loves the action and the adventure and, scary stuff as well. So I like to be well rounded. I don't
Mhm.
want to leave myself out of anything.
Mhm. I've seen as an actress, you worked like many great actors and actresses like Terry Polo and Chas Palimentary. He's a
Yes.
great icon. I mean, especially regarding gangster films. I remember Bronx Tale as well.
Yep.
his own play that Robert De Niro transformed it into a film, and many other films, including The Usual Suspects, one of my favorite films as well. So tell me, as a filmmaker, did some of the actors you co-starred with in front of the screen you would like to direct someday?
Oh my gosh. Every single one of them. I have to tell you, I have been blessed to work with some of the most amazing people thus far. I'm so grateful to the trajectory of where I have been and where I have come, and being able to work in tandem with these A-list actors has been nothing short of incredible, and inspiring and educating. I really love to watch how they work, and their professionalism just shows. And I hope that one day I'll also, be just as known for my creative talents as they are. And I love these creative people and these creative minds, and it's kind of a synergy working with everyone, because the actor, has such influence on their character and the writing as well. So it's really important, to
Yes.
have these uh, you know talented people to work with and not only inspire me.
Hmm. I've seen that you did some westerns as well,
I did.
and coming from Arizona.
Hmm.
And I remember watching a lot of films. And maybe, when I was young, I used to read French comics from Belgium, and they used to set a lot of cowboys influenced by westerns in the 70s, especially the spaghetti westerns that Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson and Henry Fonda did, with Sergio Leone and many other actors, Franco Nero, you know, the Western produced in Europe, the spaghetti Westerns. Tell me, why do you think Westerns come back every now and then? There was all the time, every now and then we see a revival of the genre, especially with Kevin Costner recently. He did a lot of westerns, before becoming a filmmaker as well. I remember Silverado, and then he did Wyatt Earp, you know, and
Hmm.
uh, and recently his trilogy right now. So tell me, why do you think western is still alive until now?
You know, uh, um, when I was a little girl, my dad watched Westerns 24 hours a day. So I grew up watching them, and I learned to appreciate them very much, because it's not only showing the beautiful landscapes, across America and the American West, it's also, there's bits and pieces of history that are told throughout it as well. And there's something so unique about these films, and the tough lives and what it was like, and the horrors and the evils of the world at the same time, and protecting yourself and your loved ones. And that really, I think, that thread still remains the same in the world in different ways. And I think to escape into a movie and watch, what maybe our ancestors might have done. I know mine, some of them were. It's pretty cool. And yeah, with Yellowstone and these movies like that, they're huge. And there's just something about it that really rings true to the watchers.
Yes, Laurie, excuse me 1 minute. I'll be coming back, just a second. Hello. Yes, we're
Hi.
back. Yes, right now I want to ask you about the new year. Since everybody has plans, what are your plans for this year and the upcoming period?
This year we have two westerns coming out. The first western I'm an executive producer of. It's titled Guns of Redemption. That will be coming out March 7th. That's starring Casper Van Dien and Jeff Fahey and Sean Astin, directed by Brian Skiba. And our next film, The Gunslingers, that is coming out to be announced in April. And that is another Western action film starring, let's see here, everybody, Stephen Dorff, Nicolas Cage, Heather Graham. It's just a star-studded cast. I could keep going if you'd like me to name everybody. But yeah, we're really excited for that one. I have about four different films in different phases of development at the moment, and two films in post production. One is a sci fi, another one is a horror film.
As a filmmaker, writer, director, producer, tell me right now for films like you produce, it is easy to distribute them. I mean, in cinema or streaming service right now, or do you face some kind of challenges as well?
Oh, you know what? It's absolutely challenging for sure. I think a lot of people think that they can be filmmakers, but not everybody can do it. There's different processes depending on how you're doing your films. But I think the way things are changing, the opportunity for people and their independence and their creativity is being able to shine with all of these different streaming services and, different platforms such as, YouTube and Amazon. I mean, one of our first feature films was actually when Netflix was just a baby. It was one of the films that they had picked up. So, we've seen all this new technology and everything come online, and you as a filmmaker you really have to work with it. So we're also learning with the curve too, but it's definitely not an easy thing to do, but it is doable.
But it is good that you're having Nicolas Cage. He's so busy,
Oh yeah.
and he visited Egypt two times, actually, my country, two times during Cairo Film Festivals.
Oh, that's
One year
fantastic.
before he got his Oscar, he came. I remember he had three films, which
Hmm.
to promote It Could Happen to You and Guarding Tess, and as well one of my favorite noir film, Red Rock West, if you remember. It was Dennis Hopper and Lara Flynn Boyle. So yeah, he used to come to Egypt frequently. But tell me right now, regarding international distribution, how do
Hmm.
you see the interest in the film you produce, or is it enough to have it on streaming service? Because right now everybody can watch Netflix and Amazon worldwide and similar platforms.
True, true. It is very important to have it on these platforms. Our international sales for these movies are extremely, extremely important to us filmmakers, and getting our art out to the people across the world, and appreciate other art from the people across the world too. And with these streaming availabilities, we get to do that a lot easier. And, instead of just being able to find one movie in a theater, for a certain amount of time, you actually have the ability to watch it whenever you want. So that's really exciting for our day and age. So, yeah.
Yes. Laurie, I want to thank you very much for the live together here. And I hope when you have a new release, you can come back with your co-stars as well to promote it with us.
I would
Feel
absolutely
free
love
to
that.
come anytime. Yes. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I hope we can have you again soon when you have a new release promoting.
Thank you. I would absolutely love that. I appreciate it. You have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, Laurie. Take care.
You.
Bye bye.
You too.
Thank you.